Oh yeah, what's up guys? Black Americans are drawing the line loud and clear. A growing number of voices are telling Africans, handle your own problems, stop interfering with ours, and leave us alone. This message has sparked heated debates across social media and beyond. But why is this happening and what does it really mean? Guys, let's get into this. Let's hear what this lady says. I'll be back.
Why is it that Black Americans hate Africans?
I don't know. Like from what I've heard, I guess annoyance that they feel like Black Africans come to the country and they're given preferential treatment because there's this sort of belief that we work harder and we do this and but therefore we're like the good model minority.
Yeah.
Which in turn makes them look bad.
Yeah.
And that even though, I mean, the FDA and the ADOS, like they say that they can distinguish who's who's Black American and who's African.
And I can't.
They
see
say
how
that
they
there's
can.
like so many different, like, you can easily distinguish and all that, which I think is a whole load of cap. There may be some truths to it. Like at the end of the day, we know how white supremacy works, right?
Yeah.
And it does absolutely get off on causing division. That's how it's always been. And it's just unfortunate that people are actually buying into it, but they're mad at the wrong people. I just feel like the energy is completely misdirected. And like, even if those differences are there, 'cause I'm going to give them the benefit of doubt and say that there's some element of truth to that. Who is responsible for that?
I think we need more honesty about the misinformation that's been put towards both of us, because when we've had this discussion multiple times, it's not often we get Black American honesty about the negative stereotypes they have. I say it, we say it, but they're like, no, we were open arms and welcoming. There was definitely negative stereotypes of immigrant Blacks perpetuated by Black Americans. So you can say that you're welcoming, but were you? And similarly, what was projected into into Africa and the Caribbean about Black Americans? Just be really honest about the propaganda that happened, and then we can get to honest dialogue.
Be really honest, she says, when they start off this whole video clip, this whole conversation with a lie. Started off with division. Why do Black Americans hate Africans? Do you think starting off a conversation with a lie, why do Black Americans hate Africans? Do you think starting a conversation with a lie is going to bring about open, honest dialogue? Or do you think starting off the conversation with a lie that Black Americans hate Africans is going to continue division, is going to continue separation? I used to follow this podcast for a long time. I liked watching these ladies, but yeah, this little clip, this snippet, I unfollowed them. I can be honest. Black Americans do not hate Africans. Back in the day, there was propaganda that was spewed to both groups of people. White supremacy spewed lies to Africans over in the continent, and white supremacy spewed lies to Black Americans over here in the United States. Growing up back in the day, I heard Black Americans calling Africans African booty snatchers. I've heard that. Hell, I've been called an African booty snatcher, but clearly the two different cultures doesn't understand where that stems from. Africans don't understand about the dozens. Africans don't know anything about how Black people will slay other Black people and then turn around and go out to dinner together. They don't understand that about Black American culture. So when Black Americans call them African booty snatchers, not realizing that other Black Americans called other Black Americans African booty snatchers. Yeah, I understand that it could all be hurtful, but here we are in 2025, and we now understand the propaganda that was spewed to both groups of people and how they use that propaganda to try to create this division between both groups of people. However, Africans seems to want to continue this division. I have watched my African brothers and sisters, get up on social media, over on Twitter, over on TikTok, and use social media to denigrate and disrespect Black Americans in 2025. Used slavery to further infuriate, harass, and bully Black Americans in 2025. I have watched Africans tell Black Americans that they are not African. I have watched Africans say to Black Americans and other people, anybody who would listen, that Black Americans don't know where they came from. And so you know what happens? Over the years of listening to that shit, you have Black Americans delineating from Africans. You have Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, ADOS, you have them all talking about how they want to separate from Africans because Africans are harmful to Black Americans, to foundational Black Americans, to the American descendants of slavery. And you want to start a conversation with talking about honest and open dialogue. You want to start a conversation with why do Black Americans hate Africans? Yeah, I unfollowed this podcast. They aren't trying to unite. They are furthering the division. They are furthering the animosity, and they are doing it by perpetrating lies. African Americans, Black Americans do not hate Africans. We will defend ourselves from whatever group of people is out there being disrespectful to us and our culture. And that's on period.
You can hear Black Americans are sending a clear message to Africans. Focus on your own issues and stop interfering with Black American struggles. Yeah, I'm here to break down this rising tension between African immigrants and the Black Americans as frustrations are boiling over on social media and beyond. Why are Black Americans drawing these boundaries? What sparked this wave of warnings? And what does this mean for the future of Black solidarity across the United States? Join this conversation, guys, in the comment section. We are here to explore on the roots of the conflict between Africans and Black Americans. Why many Black Americans feel misunderstood and disrespected, the demand for Africans to confront their own political and social issues at home, the long-standing identity debates, and the clashes within the Black community. This is a conversation that can no longer be ignored. Guys, kindly share your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with the Black Americans setting these boundaries, or do you think the unity should come first? Yeah, so for years, Black Americans have always expressed frustration with being compared to African immigrants. Many feel that Africans look down on them, question their identity, or even mock their struggles. The sentiment is simple. Black Americans are tired of being lectured or judged by people who didn't grow up under the same history of slavery, under the same history of segregation and systemic racism in the United States. Now, Black Americans are sending out a warning. Focus on Africa's own problems. They point to poverty, corruption, they point to civil wars and economic instability across parts of the continent, and ask why Africans are so quick to comment on Black American issues instead of fixing their own. So this divide has become especially visible online. From Twitter to TikTok, heated arguments erupt daily. Black Americans push back against Africans who criticize their culture, their activism, or their identity. Many are saying, if you don't live here and don't share our struggles, stop telling us what to do. At the heart of this clash is identity. Black Americans see themselves as a distinct group with a unique history tied to the United States, but some Africans believe Black Americans should embrace Africa as their true homeland. This difference in perspective has fueled misunderstandings, it has fueled resentment, and now open warnings. Yeah, so the question remains, is unity among the Black diaspora even possible, or are the divisions too deep, with each group needing to focus on their own realities? Black Americans are making it clear they want respect, not interference, and they are telling Africans to look inward before pointing fingers. What do you think, guys? Are Black Americans right to set these boundaries? Should Africans focus solely on their home countries, or is solidarity across the diaspora still necessary? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more conversations like this. Of course, all credit belongs to the original creators of the video. This video is meant for educational purposes and commentary purposes as well. Thank you so much. Have a nice time. Peace be with you. Subscribe, comment, like, and share.